Today we're going to talk about how to manage hobbies as a minimalist. Hello, my name's Rachel and I do videos all about decluttering, minimalism and my no spend year. And today we're going to talk about how minimalism can impact and influence how you approach hobbies. Because I know hobbies is an area where you think, stuff. Each hobby that you do requires equipment or accessories or things that you need to be able to succeed at that hobby, and it can be overwhelming, and especially if you're trying to declutter and you're trying to have a minimalist approach to life, actually then we really need to rethink how we do hobbies as a minimalist. So I've got some tips for you on how to get started with hobbies as a minimalist, and hopefully this will help you still be able to enjoy and try new things, but with a bit more of a minimalist approach so that you don't spend or get clutter for things that you may not end up enjoying. So my first tip is to choose your activities wisely. So if you want to start a new hobby, think really carefully about what things you're currently doing already, what things might you really be interested in. Try and pick something that feels natural to you, like a natural flow of your energy. Is it that you really like playing sport and you particularly enjoy watching a particular sport? Is that the thing that you want to have a go at? Is it that you want to have a range of different hobbies so that you have something creative, something athletic? Choose carefully which hobbies you want to have a go at and which ones are probably realistic for you to be able to do, which ones take up the right amount of time for how much time you have got, and think about which ones are sociable ones and which ones are solitary and how you're going to manage that or fit that into your day. And within that, can you avoid any activities or hobbies that are likely to be ones that you might abandon or give up on? So think really carefully about the activities you're choosing and make sure that they are ones that you really want to have a good go at and really try your best at. My second tip is to schedule your activities into your day. So this one means that you will be kind of thinking about how much time you're going to give towards each of your hobbies that you want to do, or the one hobby that you want to do. Is it realistic? Is it going to fit in your schedule? Think about mapping out how that's going to look in terms of your daily life, your weekly life, and how or if it will fit in. And with that, kind of be careful not to overfill your time with lots of different hobbies. Is it the case that you try one hobby, see if that works, and then build on trying another one down the line when that one is a settled, established hobby? Think about how it's going to be manageable for you so it's not too overwhelming at once, and then you feel more likely to give up on it. And within that, also make sure that you're prioritising the most important things that you want to do. Is it that you really want to prioritise painting because you know that's really good for your well-being and your mental health? Or is it that you want to prioritise exercise as a new hobby because that is something that's really going to give you some personal gain? So prioritise, manage, and make sure it's not too much in your schedule for the day or for the week. My third tip is to try before you buy. So is it an activity that you could just borrow some equipment and have a go at, or have a trial in like a creative course so that you don't have to buy anything, you just have a go at the experience before you decide whether or not you want to commit to that as a hobby. So that's a really good way of kind of sussing out what works for you, what doesn't work for you, so that you know which hobbies that you'd like to kind of continue. And then you'll really know if it's something that you want to do, and then you are in a better position to know what tools to buy that are necessary and essential for that hobby, so that you don't buy things that are not kind of needed, so that you are buying the right products. And having a go at trying something with somebody that already knows what they're doing, that's going to really help you gauge which quality items to buy, which ones to avoid, so that you're not buying things that are poor quality or not going to get used. So you're kind of thinking about how much you're bringing into your home and not adding clutter for things that are not going to be used. My fourth tip is with regards to projects. So if you have a project in mind, like a DIY project or something like that, or a craft project, make sure your intentions are really clear. And with that, make sure you're purchasing things that are absolutely essential for making that product or that project. Don't buy things that are possibles, that might not fit. Make sure you're really clear about what it is that you need to be able to complete that project. So this means that you need to really carefully plan out what you're going to buy so that you're not buying anything that will get unused. Tip number 5, once you know exactly what you want to do, only buy the basics that you absolutely need. So now that you've done some research, you've thought about what you want to do, only buy the absolute essentials. So if you're doing painting, only buy primary colours so that you can really get to know how to mix, things like that, basic brush sets, so that you don't have a large brush selection that you're not going to know how to use. Start with the basics and then build on it slowly. As you get used to using the items, you then start to realise, okay, I might need this selection of colours, or I want to go down a pastel route, want to go vibrant. Think about what you want as a basic first so that you know that you can build on that. So this can work for a number of different hobbies. So a basic item, if you want to get started with walking, is going to be walking shoes. If you want to get started with golf, then you only need a couple of golf clubs. These might be even things that you can borrow, or borrow for a short period of time, or purchase a small set of. If you're going to get into photography, could you play around with your phone first of all? Because most of the newest phones in the last couple of years have got really good cameras. Could you get used to playing around with settings first and kind of developing those skills before you then purchase a digital camera that you're going to use more regularly? So really think about the basics and what that might mean. Tip number 6, as I've said a few times, is to see if you can borrow some of the items before investing. So is there a way that you can borrow or share items amongst friends or family so that you can really decide whether or not you really want to do it, or if you don't enjoy it, you can then share it with somebody else that might really like it. Get in the habit of sharing resources and things will just keep costs low, and it just means that you're creating a community with these hobbies as well, because if you know that one of your friends has got one kind of collection, you've got something similar, you can kind of swap and mix up so that you don't have lots of the same things. Find a way that you can make it more community based so that you can interact with others as well. And if you get to borrowing resources, you can really decide whether or not it's something that you really like or think you'll benefit from before you then invest in it yourself. Tip number 7 is to keep items for your hobbies neat, organised and maintained. Make sure you're maintaining it so that you're looking after it and it will prolong the life of it so that you can use it for longer. Make sure that it's tidy and organised so that when you're looking for something you can find it easily, so you don't accidentally buy any duplicate items and then have too many than what you need. Keeping that organised, it will help you see exactly what you have so you know what you don't need as well, so you can keep maintaining that level. If you buy something new, you can remove an item. So it just helps you to keep an eye on how much stuff you have for that hobby. So if you're thinking about starting a new hobby, hopefully these 7 tips will really help you understand how to do it as a minimalist and kind of maximise your money and your time so that you are really sure about whether or not you want to invest. Don't forget to let me know how you get on with these ideas, these tips below, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more videos about decluttering, minimalism and my no spend year. I shall see you soon for more videos. Take care, bye.